Hi, welcome to Gramophone Music Studio YouTube channel. Today's video will be everything you need to know about the LRSM Music Performance Diploma. Before we begin, you may want to check out our past videos including the Introduction to ABRSM New Diploma LRSM and FRSM and What's After Grade 8, an Introduction to Music Diplomas by ABRSM and Trinity. This video will be the information on the new LRSM from April 2024 onwards. Our subscribers are interested in this topic and this might be our longest video by far. So if you like this video, show us some support by liking the video and comment below. The LRSM exam is only available as digital exam, which is an online exam, via video recording for the performance and providing supporting evidence for the performance in context. It is available on demand, which can be taken anytime, and the physical exam is not available for LRSM. The LRSM Music Performance Diploma is available for the below instruments. I will include this in the link in description. The entry requirement for LRSM is ABRSM Grade 8, Practical Grade and Performance Grade. They are both accepted, and there are also alternative qualifications which we will include in the next slide. There's no age limit as long as the prerequisite is met. Here is the alternative qualification accepted in place of ABRSM Grade 8. In LRSM Performance Diploma, candidates have to present 2 units. Unit 1, Performance. Candidates present a program of 45 minutes. The duration is including transition and a break up to 4 minutes for brass, woodwind, and singers. And also the second unit, Performance in Context, which can be presented by written form or spoken form on the selected topics. We will talk about this further later on in the video. The candidates must present both units for the diploma. And here's the marks distribution for the LRSM. The performance 60 marks is broken down into the pieces presented 30 marks and performance as a whole 30 marks. Whereas the performance in context takes 15 marks and the total marks will be 75 marks. And this is the result categories. For pass is 15 marks and above, merit 60 marks and above, and distinction 68 marks and above. They're all out of a total of 75 marks. Now I will talk in details about Unit 1 performance. The core of LRSM Music Performance Diploma is the performance of the instruments. Candidates should make a video recording of the performance at your preferred venue with or without an audience. The candidates should select the repertoires to form the duration of 45 minutes plus minus 10%. You may select from the LRSM repertoire list, and there's also possibility for own choice pieces, which includes the own composition or arrangements. The repertoire list should contribute minimum 50% of the duration, which is more than 22.5 minutes, and the own choice pieces can be of the remainder duration, which needs to be at or beyond ABRSM level. The LRSM repertoire list will be included in the link in description. When selecting the repertoires, keep in mind that the candidate should present a balanced and varied program and meeting the duration requirement. It should contain a variety of moods, keys, and speeds, with at least 2 contrasting pieces by periods or styles. There is no advantage of presenting only LRSM repertoires. If you prefer to perform own choice piece for more than 50% duration, a written approval needs to be obtained from ABRSM by email to syllabus@abrsm.ac.uk. On the own choice pieces, they must display difficulty of ABRSM or above, and they must be available in sheet music of proper notation, which means no lead sheets or tabs. The first page of the own choice piece must be uploaded together with the exam video in PDF format. Candidates can also present own composition or arrangements as own choice piece. They must be available in sheet music of proper notation and must display a difficulty of ABRSM or above. The examiner will not judge the structural or compositional skills, only on the performance aspect. On the exam music, ABRSM does not publish pieces book like graded exam. It is recommended to acquire the editions stated in the repertoire list, especially for arrangements or transcriptions, as it may differ from one another. The other editions are also acceptable as long as it matches the piece's information as listed. Performing from memory remains optional and at candidate's discretion, but it is encouraged to do so. No advantage will be given for performing from memory. Candidates are encouraged to make the video recording in front of live audiences, but it is optional at candidates' discretion. All music with accompaniment should be performed as such. Pre-recorded accompaniment is not allowed. For woodwind, brass candidates and singers, it is permitted to take one break within the duration. The break can be up to 4 minutes and the recording should go on during the break. You are permitted to have a page turner and no prior permission is required. Next, I'll be talking about how to make the recording. Here are the recording guidelines. The performance video must be recorded in one continuous take and unedited. The camera should be static, either portrait or landscape mode. Any device with good recording quality can be used. The candidate, instrument, if possible pedals for piano and the music stand if used, should be clearly seen from the angle. The wheel cannot be blocked by audience if any. The candidate's face should be visible throughout the performance. If there's audience, they should not clap in between pieces and they have to remain silent throughout the entire program. You are encouraged to do testing and trialing to ensure good sound quality and balance. For more tips, check out our video, The Complete Guide to ABRSM Performance Grade. The recording can be made at any suitable venue chosen by the candidate, taking in consideration of the space and acoustics, and also the audience size if any. It can be recorded at any time as the exam is on demand. Unit 1 and Unit 2 videos can be recorded separately if candidate choose to do a spoken response. Here is the procedure for the video recording. First, make the announcement, show photo ID, and then start the performance according to your order. The announcement should contain your name, the subject, which is instrument, and mentioning LRSM Performance Diploma, then the details of the composer and title of each piece or song in your program in the performance order. Here is an example of the announcement, which we will also include in the link in the description. Here is an example. My name is John Lee and I'm taking the LRSM Performance Diploma for piano. The first piece in the program would be by, the second piece would be by, and so on. For the photo ID, which refers to the identification document with photo, such as national identification card, passport, driving license, student card, etc. Alternatively, you can also use candidate identification form by ABRSM. Hold it next to the candidate's face for about 5 seconds in front of camera. Then, you can start performing according to the performance order. And now moving on to Unit 2, Performance in Context. Unit 2 tests the candidate's knowledge and understanding relevant to the program and performance by providing supporting evidence in spoken or written form. It requires research, analysis, and the way you approach and prepare the program. You have to select a topic from the given options, and you can present it in written form, 2000 words plus minus 10%, or a spoken form in a 10 minutes video plus minus 10%. The candidate is encouraged to include musical examples and demonstration where applicable. In written form, 2000 words plus minus 10%, it can be done in any language. If English is not used, an English translation must be provided. You may use Word documents or PowerPoint presentation, and it has to be uploaded together with the exam video in PDF form only. You may include musical examples in the document. For spoken form, in 10 minutes plus minus 10%, it can also be done in any language. If English is not used, English subtitle must be provided in the video. It can be presented verbally alongside the PowerPoint presentation. The spoken video can be recorded separately from the Unit 1 performance video. If PowerPoint presentation is used, upload it in the PDF format together with the video. Candidates should select one from the below topics. Option 1. Informing the audience. Option 2. Detailed program analysis. Option 3. Programming your performance. Option 4. Preparation for performance. I'll explain them in details. First up, Option 1. Informing your audience. Provide overview of your LRSM performance by informing or supporting others to see the pieces in context. Identify musical features such as the structures, style, and character and how they relate to one another. Engage the listener and make the music accessible to them. The topics may include a background information about the composers, the contextual place of the output of composers, supporting details concerning the musical periods and styles, an overview of musical structures and forms involved, points of note relating to instruments or vocal techniques, and the character and mood. Conclude with a short reflection on how effectively the aim of informing the audience, how this insight will influence your future approach. And next, Option 2, Detailed Program Analysis. Candidates should choose 20-minute section of the LRSM program and provide detailed exploration through one of the following. Context and analysis. You may include the information of composers and musical periods, the influences on the origins of music, significance in the musical development more widely. Or performance history and discography, such as pieces dedication, early performances through contemporary concerts, references to recordings, and notable performers or performances, etc. Or lastly, the significance in the development of your instrument. You may include information of composers and musical periods, the impact of technical developments in the construction of instrument, and the relationship to other keywords in the history of the instrument. And you should conclude with the reflection on the impact of research has had on your own practices as a performer and the evaluation of how this will continue to inform your future approach. Next, Option 3, Programming your performance. Using LRSM program as a whole and provide detailed commentary on your reasons of choosing this program and its order. The topics may include overarching themes, contrast in musical periods or styles, the way in which the research informed your developing interpretation, which works suit your performing style and the reason, the areas of challenges and strategies employed, how you manage the transitions between pieces or movements, the suitability of your chosen work for the venue. And then, conclude with a reflection on the insights you gained through preparing the program, how they impacted your performance and continuing performance practice. Include an evaluation of the effectiveness of your approach and of the program itself. And the last option, Option 4, Preparation of performance. The candidate should provide a holistic overview of the LRSM program from the beginning of preparatory journey to the final performance. Give detailed account of technical and musical demands and specific preparation to master this. The topics may include researching and choosing the repertoire, program planning including the strategies to overcome technical difficulty, contextual information from your own research that has influenced your interpretation including the available discography, your approach to communicating as a performer, reference to published literature and technical exercises you studied, practice strategies you developed to prepare the program including the teacher's input. And then, conclude with a short reflection on the insights gained during the preparation process, how they have impacted your performance and continuing your performance practices. Include an evaluation of the effectiveness of your approach and the eventual result. And now I'll talk about how to present the performance in context in spoken form. This is the procedure for the video recording. First, make an announcement, show the photo ID, then present the spoken evidence. The announcement should include the ABRSM contact ID, the subject which is instrument, the option details. For example, my contact ID is, and I'm doing LRSM Performance Diploma for piano. I have chosen option 1. This video is recorded on the 26th of April 2024. And the date of recording. And then show the photo ID. And you can proceed to present the spoken evidence. It is not required to be done in one continuous take and is also not required to be done the same time as the performance. The candidate should be visible to camera throughout the recording, and you may provide supporting documents such as the PowerPoint slides. If you speak languages other than English, you must provide English subtitles in the videos and English translation for all supporting documents. Note the duration required for this section. Next, here are some guidelines if you do it in the written form. Type the written evidence and save it into PDF. If the language used is not English, you must provide an English translation for submission. On the front page, include the below information: ABRSM contact ID, the subject which is instrument, the option details, the date of writing, and also the total word count excluding footnotes, bibliography, or discography. Also include page numbers for all pages. Use a consistent presentation and referencing styles. Include references to sources, including the bibliography and discography if applicable. And here's some information about the translation, which is only for the response not done in English. For the written form, you have to submit both files in original language and English translation. The words count is for the English translation only. The translator will need to fill in a declaration form which will be included in the link in description. The translator cannot be personally connected to the candidate, which means they cannot be a family member, friends, or teacher of the candidate. As for the spoken response not in English, an English subtitles must be added to the video. Here are the marking criteria for LRSM Performance Diploma. This is the marking criteria for pieces presented. I will include all this information in the link in description. Next, the marking criteria for performance as a whole. And the marking criteria for performance in context. Now on to the exam booking. You may book via ABRSM ad registration portal, and it can be done anytime as it is on demand basis. Check out our video on how to register for ABRSM exam. We will also put it in the description box. After registration, you will have 28 days to upload the video and supporting evidence. And about the exam submission, there are quite a number of files to be uploaded, so candidate is encouraged to submit a little earlier within the 28 days time frame to avoid technical difficulties when uploading. Have these files ready for submission. First, the Unit 1 performance video, the Unit 1 first page of own choice pieces in PDF, and the Unit 2 supporting evidence in video or PDF form. And you have to name the files according to this format: the contact ID underscore LP underscore unit number underscore file number. The contact ID can be found from the ABRSM account. L stands for LRSM Diploma and P stands for performance. For unit number, 1 for performance video, 2 for performance in contact, whether spoken or written form. The file number is only if you submit more than one file for a unit. This is an example of the file name. You have to submit the files in this order. First, the Unit 1 first page of own choice piece in PDF and Unit 2 spoken or written evidence in video or PDF. You have to do that using the upload link provided. You have to upload these files first before the Unit 1 performance video. And then, for the Unit 1 performance video, click the Submit Recording from ABRSM account to upload. Complete the online program form, select Current for syllabus, and then enter the composer and title according to the performance order. Indicate own choice pieces and lastly, complete the declaration. And now the other exam information related to LRSM Diploma. The exam fees is to be paid at the exam booking time. The fees would be 1,980 ringgit. The fees shown is in Malaysian ringgit and only applies for the year 2024, which is subject to change every year and according to regions. Check the ABRSM website for the accurate information for your region. The exam result and mark form will be sent to the ABRSM applicant account when available. Candidates who successfully pass will receive a paper certificate and a digital certificate available in the ABRSM account. Find out more about the digital certificate in our video, ABRSM Digital Certificate. On the attire, candidates are encouraged to dress professionally as in performing in recitals. About recognition, candidates can use LRSM after the name after you have successfully gained the title. Check out the link in the description, which we have all the links and documents mentioned and also a free download PDF version of this video. Like and drop us a comment if you've got questions or if you find this video helpful. Subscribe to our channel for more contents. All information is correct by the date of publication. In the event of any discrepancies or inconsistencies, ABRSM's information shall prevail. Thanks for watching. See you next time.